Now let's discuss more of the headlines in simple keywords with Adam No. We are now joined by Adam on Zoom. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Gian. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, that is Thursday. Today's Thursday. So let's dive straight into today's first keyword. What do we have?
3,000 troops.
So officially it is 3,000. The National Intelligence Service here says around 3,000 North Korean soldiers have already been sent to Russia, with a total of 10,000 expected to be deployed by December this year. Well, this came during a closed-door meeting of the Parliamentary Intelligence Committee. What's the latest, Adam?
Right, so Park Son-won of the Democratic Party cited the NIS director Chuk Tae-yong as saying that 1,500 North Korean soldiers were sent to Russia between August 8th and 13th, and another 1,500 have been since deployed. Park mentioned that the NIS has reliable information suggesting that around 10,000 North Korean troops will be deployed by December as part of an agreement between North Korea and Russia. Now, the soldiers are not on the front lines yet. They are currently in several Russian training centers, getting used to the local environment and receiving special training, including how to operate military equipment and drones. It said that a number of these soldiers are new to these new warfare technologies. Now, the NIS also reported that Russia is recruiting many Korean language interpreters to assist the North Korean soldiers during their training. The NIS also reported that each North Korean soldier is being paid about $2,000 per month. Now, inside North Korea, the government is keeping the deployment secret, but rumors are spreading. There are even reports that some families of the soldiers are visibly distressed, and the NIS has noticed signs that North Korean authorities are moving and isolating the families of deployed soldiers to maintain control and prevent leaks.
Such a sad news. Well, the US and NATO have also officially acknowledged that North Korea has sent troops to Russia. What do they have to say?
Right, so US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, speaking to reporters in Rome, confirmed that there is evidence of North Korean forces in Russia. This marks the first time, actually, that the US government has officially recognized this deployment. Austin expressed concern about the broader implications, noting that it could affect not only Europe, but also the Indo-Pacific region. Now, shortly after Austin's comments, NATO also confirmed that its member states have verified North Korea's deployment of troops to Russia. NATO is set to discuss this further, actually, with South Korean representatives who will visit the NATO headquarters in Brussels next week to share information about the North Korean troops in Russia.
Well, this marks a significant development as the US and NATO, they officially acknowledges North Korea's involvement in Russia's military efforts. So, Adam, what is our second keyword?
Moscow warns Seoul.
In response, well, Russia's foreign ministry has raised a strong warning to South Korean government regarding its response to North Korean troops being deployed to Russia. What did it say?
Right, so Maria Zakharova, the ministry spokesperson, issued the warning as Seoul announced its plan to take what it called phased measures in response to growing military cooperation between Pyongyang and Moscow. She stressed that Russia will respond harshly to any actions that could threaten its national security. She emphasized that these responses could be visible and urged the South Korean government to act with caution and common sense. She also warned that Seoul should consider the consequences for its own security if it becomes involved in the Ukraine conflict. She expressed surprise as well at Seoul's reaction to Pyongyang's deployment, saying that it should not be influenced by what she called the terrorist regime in Ukraine, while Russia denied the reports of North Korean troop deployments, calling them exaggerated and false. Zakharova avoided addressing the claims directly. She suggested asking Pyongyang for clarification on the location of its troops and questioned why Seoul was reacting based on the announcement made by its National Intelligence Service. So she also defended military cooperation between the North and Russia as well. She said it did not harm South Korea in any way, so it shouldn't really be concerned.
I guess this warning from Russia adds another layer of difficulty to the already tense situation. Adam, what is our next keyword?
Railway Park.
So now it's Yeontre Park, not Central Park. The Seoul city government has announced a plan to move a 68-kilometre stretch of above-ground railways underground and turn the existing tracks into large green spaces similar to Yeontre Park. Tell us the details.
Right, so currently 6 lines cover 71.6 kilometres across 15 districts. Now, while these railways once supported the city's growth, they now cause problems, actually, like noise, vibration, and separating neighbourhoods as well, which have led to urban decline. Now, Seoul will move about 94% of the above-ground railways underground, and the area freed up will be turned into parks, covering around 1.2 million square metres. These new green spaces are modelled after Yeontrul Park, also known as Gyeonggi Line Forest Park to tourists more commonly. Now, the projects will cost an estimated 25.6 trillion won. It will be funded by issuing bonds and selling station land for commercial, business and cultural development. The city expects to earn around 31 trillion won from land sales and development, enough to cover, of course, the project costs. The project was actually one of Mayor Oh Se-eun's election promises and is part of the 2040 Seoul Master Plan. Now, with the recent passing of a special law supporting railway underground development, the project is gaining momentum. If selected as a priority project by the central government, construction could begin by 2028 and be completed by 2032, with land sales and development finishing by 2050. Mayor Oh emphasised the strong public demand for this project and its potential to improve the city's competitiveness. The city plans to work closely with the national central government as well to push the project forward.
So exciting changes ahead in Seoul City. And moving on to our fourth keyword.
Births rise.
Birth rise here. Well, Korea saw another major yearly increase in births in August, extending strong growth for a second consecutive month. What's the latest?
Right, so Statistics Korea data show the number of newborns in August rose just under 6% on year to just over 20,000. That's the steepest yearly growth rate for the month since 2010. Experts believe that the rise in births is partly due to delayed marriages from the pandemic, which started to pick up in August 2022 and continued into the first half of 2023. Of course, if they, majority of them, if they get married during that period, then the subsequent births, of course, will follow around this time of the year. Now, a Statistics Korea official noted that this trend is actually likely to continue until the end of the year. That suggests that the total number of births for the year could be higher than last year. If the number of annual births increases, it would mark the first time, actually, since 2015. Meanwhile, marriages also continue to rise. In August, there were just over 17,500 marriages. That's a 20% increase from the previous year. And it also marks 5 consecutive months of growth since, of course, April. It is the largest increase for August since 2010. However, there are still problems that are underlying problems that still exist. The total fertility rates, which of course refers to the average number of expected births per woman in her lifetime, stood at a record low again of 0.71 in the second quarter. The figure is far below the 2.1 births per woman needed to maintain a stable population without immigration. The number of deaths, meanwhile, increased 5.6% on year to reach just over 32,200 in August. Accordingly, Korea reported a natural population decrease of 12,146.
I see. Well, it's quite encouraging to see a rise in birth rates, likely reflecting the positive impact of policy measures and post-pandemic recovery in marriage rates as well. Moving on to our last keyword.
Electricity price hike.
That's right. Starting from today, electricity rates for industrial use will rise by an average of 9.7%, while the rates will be frozen for households and small businesses. So tell us the details.
Right, so KEPCO announced that for large industrial users, the rate will go up by 10.2% from 165.81 per kilowatt hour to 182.7. Small and medium-sized businesses will see a 5.2% increase, with rates rising from 164.81 to 173.31 per kilowatt. Large companies which use a lot of electricity in their operations will, of course, be the most effective. Now, while industrial users actually make up only 1.7% of KEPCO's customers, they use 53.2% of the total electricity, so more than half. KEPCO expects this increase to raise overall electricity prices by about 5%, potentially adding 4.7 trillion won to annual revenue. Now, despite the rise in industrial rates, electricity prices for homes and small businesses will remain the same, as the government, of course, aims to minimize the impact on household budgets and inflation. Now, the main reason for this increase, of course, is KEPCO's ongoing financial struggles. Even with 7 price hikes since 2022, KEPCO's massive debt remains a challenge. Residential electricity prices in Korea are actually still low compared to other countries. And KEPCO have always been cautious about raising those prices. Even a slight increase, of course, sparks some disappointment and anger from consumers. So industrial clients are the ones where they're trying to get more money from. KEPCO said this rate increase for industries is necessary to expand the power grid, support industries like semiconductors and AI as well, and maintain equipment to prevent blackouts. It also emphasized the need to adjust prices to encourage more efficient energy use. And the second Vice Trade Minister, Chen Nam-ho, said the industrial hike will also help KEPCO remain profitable unless significant external factors arise.
Right. The rise in industrial electricity rates may put some pressure on large companies, but the freeze on the residential areas offers some relief for consumers amidst these economic challenges, I guess. So thanks for your coverage, insightful coverage. Wishing you a splendid day ahead, Adam.
You two have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.